So far, the Clips are 2-0 with James Harden in the starting lineup without Russell Westbrook. And personally, my stance is still the same. I prefer Russell Westbrook to be in the starting lineup with Kawhi and PG over James Harden. But I mean, that's the direction the Clippers want to go. So, the fact that Russ, made that decision himself to come off the bench so the team could win, that says a lot about Russ and his character and what he wants to, what his accomplishments are, or excuse me, what his goals are. His goal is to win. And he's making that quite clear right now. And that's a good thing. So hopefully, the Clippers can keep it going. They got another game tonight against the San Antonio Spurs, which they beat them the other night, 124-99, beat them by 25 points pretty easily for the most part. Nothing really too serious there. And hopefully, like I said, they can continue it tonight. It's going to be tough. Victor is going to, come out a little bit more focused this game, I think. Popovich will have his team a little bit more ready than last game. And I think it's going to be a lot closer this time. It might actually, I still think the Clippers are going to win, of course, but I think it's going to be like maybe a 8 to 10 point game rather than, a 25 point loss. So, maybe this time it might be 110 to 102 or something like that, Clippers, which I got the Clippers winning that score. But, I like what I've seen so far. And the crazy thing is, James Harden really fits with Kawhi Leonard a lot. When you look at how they play, they both start off the last couple games kind of aggressive, going at defenses. And, Paul George is in the mix there, of course. He's been shooting real well for the most part this season, and hopefully he continues on what he's doing. But like I said, James Harden playing, with Kawhi and PG doesn't look too bad right now. But of course, we have to really kind of judge them a little bit more when they play, better competition. You know what I'm saying? So now, of course, don't get me wrong. It's good to, the Spurs is not to look over the Spurs or anything like that, because even when you're a great team, you got to beat the teams you're supposed to beat. And when you do that, it puts you in better position and builds more confidence. And, when you collect more wins, to your resume as the season goes on, it gives you the confidence to even go against better competition and feel like what you have against them is good enough, for you to win. So, I mean, with that being said, I like what the Clippers are doing so far. Of course, things could be better, but, there's no need to complain too much because, they did get 2 wins. And, before the 2 wins they got, between Houston and the one against the Spurs, we know they was like 0-6. So, I mean, with that being said, any win is highly predicated at this point. I mean, it's highly appreciated. You know what I'm saying? So, because, I mean, the Clippers, even though, they got all that talent, it just shows how hard it is to win in this league, from night to night. It's not easy like some people make it seem, or some, analysts may make it seem. So, like I said, I think the offense is, not quite where it needs to be, of course. But if they're going to continue to keep James Harden in the lineup, they just got to continue to grow. And Russ I think he chipped in about 10, 12 points off the bench against the Spurs with a few assists. So, I mean, that definitely, bode well for him, keep his confidence up and keep in rhythm as much as he can, because he's still going to be a really huge factor for the Clippers going forward in the season and even in the playoffs, when that time comes, and within the play-in tournament. So, I mean, I think that, if they run the offense continuously, more so through Kawhi, and, allow him to, do his thing. And, now they got Kawhi kind of like catching and shooting, from the corner in certain spots. Kawhi is such a good shooter. He'll find a way to thrive with that. He really will. And I think they're doing a lot of that right now, too, because they're not trying to put too much pressure on Kawhi, because they understand that, Kawhi has played every game this season, and I'm proud of him. I shouldn't say I'm proud of him. He's done it, before in his career, but the last time I think he's done something like this, I think he was on the San Antonio Spurs. So, I mean, that's a long time ago. So, I mean, his body has to really get immune or adjusted to playing every single game. And so far, he's held up, like I said, I'm really, grateful for that. And it's good to hear, hopefully he stays healthy, because the media has been on his back for so many years. And through all that, he's won championships and been a winner. And I really appreciate Kawhi for that. And, right now, like I said, Ty Lue, his coaching style, his coaching scheme with this team is going to have to be a little bit more concise, especially when they play better competition. But right now, you're playing the opponent right in front of you, and the opponent in front of you is the San Antonio Spurs. So, as I said before, I expect the Clippers to go in there and take care of business tonight against them, And like I said, I expect the game to be a little bit closer. My score is, like 110, 102, for the Clippers. And definitely they can hopefully eke that win out because their schedule is going to get a little bit more tougher here soon. And they're going to have a little bit more competition in regards to, show exactly, what the Clippers are, how they match up against, certain teams. So, I mean, with that being said, you want to get all the wins you can against teams like the Spurs and teams you're supposed to beat because, like I said before, even though they don't have that much chemistry, but they have enough talent on that roster to beat teams like the Spurs and, Utah and teams like that, even though they lost to Utah earlier this season. But, of course, they play them again within the season. Hopefully they'll be ready for that. And they got, they'll play the Lakers again. So hopefully their offense and everything will be a little bit more built up, for that matchup for the second go round, which the first go round was awesome. So if the second game against the Lakers is just as good as the first one, then we are in for a treat. But either way, I like what I'm seeing somewhat. I mean, of course, I can complain about a few things, but I'm not going to do too much of that. We're going to see tonight's game and see what more adjustments are made and how they can, integrate one another and fit as a cohesive unit and see where it takes them. But hey, that's my take on everything. You leave any comments and we'll talk about it.